All right, in this section now we're going to talk about what it means for God to be omnipotent. I've been talking a lot about creation. I thought this would be a good place to put this topic because we're talking about creation and God's power and so on. And let's talk about how Aquinas deals with this question, because Aquinas says that God can do anything. He is all-powerful. Right? He can do anything. What does that mean? Does it mean that God could, say, sin? Does it mean God being all-powerful, does it mean that He could create, say, a round square or a rock so big that He can't lift it? Can He do these kinds of things? Can He make a man that's a rock, that's a stone? You know, can He do these kinds of sort of absurd things? And if He can't, why do we say He's all-powerful? There's a limitation to His power, you see. So let's talk about this. What does it mean to say that God is all-powerful or omnipotent? So Aquinas says that when we say that God is omnipotent, we mean that God can do whatever is possible. That's what divine omnipotence means. God can do whatever is possible. Some things, like a round square, these kind of things are absurdities, right? They're logically incoherent. There can't possibly be a round square. Aquinas says these kinds of things are just repugnant to being. It can't possibly exist. It would be both a square and not a square if it were a quote-unquote round square. See, or same thing with all those other things, like, can God make a man who is a stone? Right? A man by nature is rational. A stone is, of course, not rational. Can He make a thing that's both rational and not rational? No, that is a logical contradiction. These things can't possibly be done. Aquinas says they have, again, this sort of intrinsic repugnance to being. They can't possibly exist by their very notion, you see. So these things can't possibly exist. So Aquinas says that to say God's omnipotence means that He can do whatever is possible. This doesn't mean that His power is limited, because He can't make these things like a round square and stuff like that. In fact, Aquinas says it's better to say that these contradictory things are things that cannot be done rather than God cannot do them.